Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, and it's been a week. I took a whole week off. I got sick last week, guys. I'm so sorry. So sorry. And scheduling wasn't able to work out for a regular NPC or anything like that, but we're back. It's Mario Monday, and we are here to talk about the 40th anniversary Super Mario Brothers leak. So I'm gonna get the article pulled up that I had found, and there's literally a picture. I posted it. It's part of the thumbnail for this video. So there is a leaked image going around that we'll dig into a little bit. I'm just gonna give people a couple of minutes to roll in here because this is one, I'm kind of late, and two, I'm kind of late. And Attack the Backlog right off the bat with the super chat saying, first, let's go, baby. How's it going? Welcome. Hope you're doing amazing. We got to get Attack the Backlog on NPC, guys. Very, very soon. Very soon. We got to get that in the works. So, Attack the Backlog, fantastic YouTuber, putting in some serious work these past few months since I met him anyway. So welcome on in, my friend. So good to see you. I hope everybody in chat is doing amazing. I see a handful of people are just here lurking and hanging out, and we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking this 40th anniversary leak. So Attack the Backlog said, no time for a longer message in order to be first. I love it. That's fantastic. It's so good to be back. Thank you for the warm welcome. And give you guys just a little bit of a heads up. I have completed Donkey Kong, which I know everybody's probably surprised by that, but I did finish it. I finished it like Wednesday of last week, I think. And so really enjoyed that. Thought it was just amazing. We're going to be talking about that at length during NPC, where I'm hoping we get all four of us this week for that. And we are going to be doing a spoiler cast in the very near future. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. So I'm hoping this kind of becomes a pattern where we actually complete games and then talk about them, So that's the goal anyway. We'll see. I have a feeling things are going to be crazy. If this rumored direct happens this week, it's going to be wild. So I think there's going to be more games than we know what to do with or can even keep up with, and that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. And with the rumored potential, but not rumored, but the job posting from Sony, we might be seeing Sony games over on Switch too as well. So be a very, very interesting generation. Very interesting generation. Gaming since the 80s says a Super Mario Brothers 40th anniversary collection. Which games will they put in it? Maybe Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2. That's your guess. I like it. I feel like there's a number of directions they could go. I feel like they could do the new Super Mario Brothers collection, right? And that would be all of the new games from New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. 2, which was on the 3DS, and then New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So they could go that route. I do believe there's enough 3D games that aren't out there yet, like 3D Land, 3D World, and Galaxy 2, so they could do a 3D All-Stars Collection 2, essentially. I think what they really need to do here is, if they are going to release Galaxy 2, they need to re-release the 3D All-Stars just altogether. Give it a Switch 2 upgrade, put Galaxy 2 on it, and call it good. That's what I would love to see. So I see Sunshine is here hanging out. So welcome. How many of you guys have seen this image of super of the Mario 40th anniversary. So I'm gonna pull this thing up so you guys can see it. Now it's one of those. This is one of those leaks that always with this kind of stuff, always grain of salt, but it does make me want, like, there's some things that we're going to look at within the article here. So let me get the picture up so you guys can see it. And Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, let's go. I'm ready for some Metroid. Definitely ready for some Metroid. So here we go. We share this. Okay, cool. So you guys should be seeing this now. And there we go. I zoomed in on it. So this is the leaked image. Okay. And it's one of these things that, like, I think it's the news section of the Switch 2 or the Switch. And they basically took a picture with their phone. So it looks very blurry. But there are a few things to unpack about this. So, I mean, this is exciting, pending it's real. Kind of interesting that they would leak it themselves. I kind of have some doubts there. Also, the timing of it. If we're getting a mainline direct this week, what's this already doing here? Is this direct this week going to be Mario 40th focused, or is it the kind of thing where they're going to say, stay tuned, in a month we're going to do the 40th anniversary of Mario? Now that's very possible, similar to how they did Mario Kart World, right? They said, hey, this is part of the direct, but we're going to do a full direct. Stay tuned for a full direct. So maybe they kind of tease it and then they move on to other stuff, because the rumors are there's just a ton of third-party stuff happening. So here's the image, the leaked image, and I want to get into the article and just kind of take a peek. I'll so you guys don't have to just stare at ads. I'm going to go ahead and just remove this and put the gameplay back up. But taking a look at the article here, it says, a screenshot of what is claimed to be an official image representing Super Mario Bros. 40th anniversary has been circulating online. This is from Nintendo Soup. It said users who shared the image claim to have briefly spotted it on the official Nintendo Japanese website and an official Super Mario newsletter for customers living in North America. The image can be found below, the one we were just looking at. There is some skepticism that the image is real. For instance, the logo for the anniversary includes the words Super Mario Brothers in Japanese katakana characters. It's worth noting that Nintendo prefers to use the English title Super Mario Brothers for its official Japanese marketing materials and logos. The absence of the English wording puts the authenticity of this image into doubt. So there you go. There's a few things that may kind of throw us off the scent of this actually being real. Now, you guys know we've talked about this at length. I'm like, when it comes to anything Mario 40th anniversary related, I'm hungry. I am so hungry. Right? Like, I want any kind of information I can get about this. So that's why we're doing an entire episode just talking about a leaked image, because I really want to see something. I really, really want to see something when it comes to the 40th anniversary. And I have high hopes. I have very high expectations based strictly on what we have playing as B-roll right here. Like, they went all out for Mario for the 35th, and I really hope they don't slow down. I mean, some people are speculating, well, the launch of the Switch 2, great. Utilize Mario to sell more Switch 2s. Like show us what the Switch 2 is capable of with a new Mario of some kind. I don't care if it's a full mainline game, but give us something when it comes to Mario on the Switch 2. It could be a new All-Stars game. I don't care. But give it that Switch 2 treatment. Like, one of the things I really, really want to see is I want to see some of these older games get the Switch 2 treatment as far as like 120 FPS, 4K, 1440p, whatever the case may be. I want to see these games. I would love it if NSO got this kind of stuff to where we could see these games at like the best we've ever seen them, and not coming from Nintendo, not having to like emulate them on your PC. Like that is what I want. I want people to go, yo, it might be kind of cool to play some of the classic games because I know they're getting that up res, they're getting that higher frame rate all from the Switch 2. Like that to me is reason enough to like jump back into some of these older games. What brought this on is I saw Mario Kart running at 4K 120 widescreen, mind you. I'm talking like one of the wide monitors, and I was like, yo, this is like playing a new game. It's kind of like if you've jumped into Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2. It's like it's not the same experience. It's not. And so seeing those upgrades happen even on these retro titles, I think would be amazing. Just absolutely amazing. So, Gaming Since the 80s says, I'm still not over that Nintendo did my favorite franchise, which is The Legend of Zelda, so dirty with the anniversary. You're not wrong. Sometimes they don't make sense. I mean, you want to talk about series that they've done dirty with their anniversary. How about their most successful series ever? Mario Kart gets virtually no recognition for its anniversaries. No special edition consoles. They eventually put out like cases and things like that, but it does not get the love, in my opinion, that it deserves. Like, one of the cool things with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was there was a steel book that came out. It was an exclusive to Best Buy, but you had to buy a second copy of the game to get the book for free, if you will, right? It didn't matter if you'd purchased it there before or not. That was the way it worked. And so, like, it sometimes they don't make a lot of sense when it comes to what they are doing when it comes to their anniversaries, because it just seems like such an easy way to market their IP and to put it in front of the audience that's the most hungry for it. I do want to do a quick little side note. If you're watching the live stream, you can see I built the Piranha Plant, the Lego Piranha Plant. We just saw Mario World on screen. You can't see it because it's too tall. I was going to actually display it by the Piranha Plant or on that shelf, but I built the 16-bit Mario and Yoshi Lego this week, and that was a lot of fun. Really, really enjoyed that. It was like doing pixel art in 3D. So very. It was very fun. Like I had a really, really nice time kind of just relaxing and doing that. While speaking of Zelda, gaming since the 80s, while Jasmine built the DQ tree. So that was, and she did the Breath of the Wild. I've had people ask, did she go Breath of the Wild or Ocarina? And she went Breath of the Wild. So that's displayed up in our bedroom right now, which is super cool. So just having a great time. Still hanging out with Nintendo IP, just not gaming necessarily. But I mean, when I kind of step back and look at just all the cool stuff that we currently have, I want to see them keep going. Like, we know the Game Boy is coming out, but I hope there's some kind of new Mario Lego announced for the 40th anniversary. And I hope they do something. I hope they do something very Super Mario Brothers related. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So I see a handful of more people have jumped in. I see John is here. Brandon, welcome on in, everybody. So good to see you. We're talking Mario's 40th anniversary. There was a leaked image that probably not real, but a pretty decent fake nonetheless. And just kind of speculating on what we think is going to be released this year. And I know we've discussed it somewhat at length, but again, seeing a potential leak come out, like, it again gets me excited about the potential of what we are going to see. I mean, do you guys think that there's a chance we see hardware again, like the Game and Watch. Do you think that ends up being anything that happens this time around? Like, I feel like Nintendo's in a little bit of a different place. Okay, whereas like with the Switch, there was like all these different, like, the Game and Watch, and then we had Alarmo, and they were kind of getting weird. I feel like they're pulling back a little bit, and they're really kind of just focused on the Switch 2, and not so much this other stuff, but software for the Switch and the Switch 2, obviously. And I think they have an opportunity here. We've seen the argument that, like, well, it's the Switch 2 is out. Like, there are still a ton of Switch 1s in the wild that people are using, and they could sell copies of another Mario All-Stars game that's also on the Switch 2, or on the Switch 1, but my only thing is just make sure we get Switch 2 versions of this stuff that take full advantage of the hardware, or at least scratch the surface with it. Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm kind of having a really good time seeing these games at like higher resolutions, running at faster frame rates. And, there were a few little hiccups with Donkey Kong in the very last section, but it wasn't the end of the world by any means. But I'm really liking, I think I talked about it on the Nintendo Topic podcast. Like, I'm really liking the fact that, like, we can see reflections off the pipe frame, and there's a lot going on screen. And in the case of Donkey Kong, there's like so many particle effects, and it's kind of crazy that we're like, this is a Nintendo system. It's like, obviously it's not a PS5 Pro, it's not a Series X, but it's still doing some things that are pretty impressive. I recently started PC gaming, right? And so now I'm getting to experience like some pretty crazy like resolutions and frames and all that kind of stuff, and it's super cool. But I don't feel like when I go back to the Switch 2 that I'm like, oh, this is such a huge downgrade. I don't. I mean, obviously, I'm talking about like Call of Duty versus Mario Kart here, but Mario Kart still looks gorgeous. Would Call of Duty look as great on the Switch 2 as compared to a PC? Of course not. Like not even close. But the fact that we're getting stuff that's getting closer and more on par, Tony Hawk, the new wrestling game, I hear is even doing well. Like, I'm super happy with where the Switch is at. But I think we're all very ready for something Mario. I know Sunshine said we 100% need something when I was mentioning it, when I mentioned it earlier. And yes, we 100% do. Brandon says, Tears of the Kingdom blew my mind. Yeah, so good. So good. John says Nintendo is king. And I mean, I definitely have a ton of fun playing these Nintendo games. There's no question there. No question there. I think the only thing I'm not necessarily regretting picking up, but I didn't know this PC was going to be ready to go and working when I picked up Cyberpunk, because I have a feeling I probably would have liked the way Cyberpunk looks a little bit better on the PC. But that being said, not a horrible experience on the Switch 2 at all. So, looking at Mario 35 on the screen right now, this is something I really hope they bring back. It was a just an absolute blast. I hope they flesh it out a little further. I know it's Super Mario Brothers 35th or 40th anniversary, but I wouldn't mind if they went if they did a Super Mario 40 All-Stars, meaning Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, and Mario World all in that battle royale style, where we get to play against each other, I'm here for it. I am here for it. Brandon says, I held out on beating Tears of the Kingdom till Switch 2 version. Still haven't yet. Okay, love it. Mecha Scion says, NASA can barely run Cyberpunk. Well, there you go. There you go. I did notice, I think it was on the Epic Game Store. It was like a fraction of the price compared to Switch 2. But no, I hope there's some big surprises. Right. And yeah, the Switch 2 is an iterative system. Like it was like going from the NES to the SNES. And I'm okay if there's some games that follow suit when it comes to the 40th anniversary. Right. If we get a Mario 40 and that's all it is, at the very least, I would love to be able to play that again, because I had a lot of fun with it. It was one of those things that like felt like I've been training for this my whole life. You guys have heard me say that, right? Like it was a lot of fun for me. And I hated to see it go. I probably played that Mario 35 more than I played like Tetris 99 or the Pac-Man one that came out. Like I love to see that stuff where it's like it can bring the community together. It can get everybody playing together. Like that's what I want. That is what I want. I want to see those kind of games that just get everybody kind of pumped and yeah, it's challenging. I know some people were like, "Yo, Mario 35 was way too difficult," but like I just had so much fun with it. So much fun with it. So taking a look at chat here, Gaming Since the 80s says, I know this is a little bit off topic, but it would be awesome if Nintendo would give F-Zero the Mario Kart World treatment, an open world F-Zero. Sign me in. So fun fact, I checked out a YouTube short today that talked about F-Zero, and apparently when Nintendo finished the GameCube F-Zero, which is on Switch 2, they didn't know what to do next. I think there's a quote from Shigeru Miyamoto saying like, we didn't know where to take it. We didn't know what to add to it. And so it essentially like killed the series because they didn't know where they should go with the series. Now, it's been a long time, and there's I'm sure they've got something up their sleeve, hopefully, that, you know, F-Zero could make its return. I don't know how they're going to treat like having another racing game with Mario Kart World for a while. Like I have a feeling it could be a minute before we see another racing game, because I think they're going to keep marketing World, and there's a chance that they end up marketing World with games with like DLC in World of games like F-Zero, Donkey Kong, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, fingers crossed that it's not completely gone, and that one day we will see some kind of F-Zero make its return. Yeah, and F-Zero 99, like Brandon says, F-Zero 99 rocks. I play more of that than Mario 35, and Mario 35 is better though. Hey, I mean, well, it's still here, right? F-Zero 99 is still here, still getting updates. I don't quite understand the hey, let's put this NSO game of our biggest franchise, you know, Super Mario Brothers, and then just take it away. That one I don't get. I understand the whole scarcity marketing with 3D All-Stars and like, oh, make sure people buy it because it'll only be there for a while. Like a strange choice for a company that has as much brand loyalty as Nintendo to need to do a scarcity tactic, in my opinion. But I will never understand the reason that Mario 35 isn't still on NSO now. Like, unless it literally is for anniversaries and every 5 years it's going to make its return in some way for that year, and then we have to wait another 4 years before we can play it again. But I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, I feel like it's if they could keep updating it, if Mario 35 had been, just upgraded to 40, and then, Super Mario 2 or Mario 3 or Mario World, whatever the case, had just been added as updates similar to what they're doing with F-Zero, then we just continue to play it as the updates keep rolling out. But they decided just to kill it off, which is crazy. So John says F-Zero is an epic racing game. Also, that we need a new Chrono Trigger. I think there was a leak not too long ago about a Chrono Trigger being like in the works, like, or at least a remake of the first one. So I would love to see that. Brandon says, yeah, 3D All Stars. I owned 5 copies physical. They were not rare in our area for years. Yeah, no, the only place I've still seen 3D All Stars in Walmarts. Like you can still find them periodically. Now, if you go to GameStop, they're charging you $120 for the physical. And I think they're charging you that even if they don't have the case, the goofy GameStop case that they'll sell you, they'll still up the price to $120, which is crazy. I kind of kick myself, honestly, for not picking up a digital version. I picked up 2 physical, one sealed and one that I opened. But I kind of just wish I had these games with me all the time. And so I'm still kind of kicking myself for that one. But as of right now, one of them, and I'm honestly thinking 2 of them will be on NSO in the very near future with Mario Sunshine. So we'll just have to wait and see. And I'm still of the mind that the Wii will be getting put onto NSO at some point. I think it will happen at some point that we will see Wii games make their way to NSO. So, and Brandon says that's where I got mine, at the local Walmart. Yep. Yeah. I saw them there I've still seen them. Depending on how busy the Walmart is, you'll still see copies in the wild of the 3D All Stars. And I know there are people that are out there looking for it that are like, yo, I'd love to get a copy of this. So just keep your eyes open, especially like small town Walmarts. That's where you're going to have the best luck trying to find a copy of this game. Cause otherwise the prices are fairly inflated, and you'll spend a lot more than you're probably wanting to. So I got to say, as we're watching this montage of like all of the Mario games put together, there was literally a wave of nostalgia that just came over me seeing that first game and seeing some of those highlights of like getting the 100 lives with the turtle on 3-1 and defeating Bowser. There were the Hammer Brothers in World 8, like all of that stuff. Very, like I said, just very, very nostalgic for me. And kind of just put a smile on my face as I'm sitting here watching the B-roll. And it's just, I'm seeing so much of a good childhood, right? If you got to spend time playing some of these games on the regular, it was a ton of fun. It was a ton of fun. And so, it's not just a celebration of Mario Brothers, the first game. Or Super Mario Brothers. It seems like it's really a celebration of Mario altogether. So I'm excited to see what they may end up doing. And so Brian says, I love playing as a plumber that saved his friend that sometimes helps him out. Yeah. Interesting. Right. I saw a pretty funny like quote that looked like it was coming from Shigeru Miyamoto. He's like, the case is not true. The same is not true with the Daisy and Luigi. And I won't go on to say what the quote said, but it was definitely not safe for the podcast. I can tell you that much, I was just cracking up because it was like, it started off like it looked like in a very official response and then ended in a very non-Nintendo way. So it was pretty funny, but yeah, so weird that Nintendo officially comes out and says Mario and Peach are just friends, are just friends. Like all those smooches that he got through the years for rescuing her just to be friend zoned. Like, it's a sad, sad day. Brandon says, on the shelves for years, I called GameStop to see what they would offer for a copy, and one of the employees said, I'd like that game. Of course. Right, of course. So, well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Mario Monday. I missed you guys. It was good to just rest and focus on my health last week. So good to be back though, and we've got all of our regularly scheduled shows happening this week. Should be a minimum of one podcast a day, and I'm hoping to get to the point where there's even the news is back in the rotation. So who knows? Maybe starting tomorrow. So appreciate all of you guys so very much. I do want to let you know, over on YouTube, I put out a pretty fun time trials video. The Mario Circuit time trial. The pros shaved 3 seconds off of their main time, and I went over what the old world record looked like and what the new world record looks like, and it's honestly so crazy, the stuff that is happening. So crazy. So check that out over on YouTube, and appreciate you guys so very much. We will catch you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Wait, I forgot to say it. Play it loud. Play it loud. Come on.